You're not welcome this Easter, my mom whispered. Fine, but don't expect my $9,800, I said, turning off the electricity, water, and internet at their house. Don't come in. That was the first thing my mom said when she opened the door. No hug, no Happy Easter. Just those 3 words that hit me hard. I stood there holding a bottle of wine and a basket of handmade chocolate eggs. I even wore the light blue shirt she liked, the one that used to make her proud of me, but today, she wouldn't even look at me. What? I asked, confused. Are you serious? My mom glanced behind her and stepped outside, closing the door just a little, like I was a threat. It's better if you don't come in today, she whispered. The air felt cold. I drove 3 hours to be here. I know, she said quietly, but things are tense, and Olivia said she wouldn't come if you were here. Of course, Olivia. She was always in the middle of things. I could hear laughter and glasses clinking inside. I even heard Olivia's voice, all sweet and fake, saying, honestly, this year feels so peaceful, no drama. I wanted to yell, but I stayed calm, smiling the kind of smile that says, you don't know what's coming. Fine, I said, pulling out my phone, enjoy your peaceful Easter, but don't expect my $9,800 anymore. My mom looked confused. What money? I stared at her. The electricity, water, internet, those bills I've been paying for months. They're in my name, and I just shut them off. Her face turned pale. What? You didn't tell me. Didn't I? I showed her the app on my phone. 1 tap. The lights went out, and I heard Olivia shout from inside. The Wi-Fi just cut off. I smiled and turned to leave. Happy Easter. I walked back to my car. No one followed. No one apologized. As I sat in my car, I saw Olivia appear in the doorway, holding her phone up, looking angry. Are you crazy? We were about to eat lunch. I rolled down the window and said, call your real family. Maybe they'll pay the bills next month. Then I drove away, feeling no guilt. That was the moment I stopped letting them take advantage of me. I stopped being the one they could use for money. For years, I told myself I was helping, that I was the responsible one, that family meant sacrifice. I even remember the time my dad called me during a meeting. Power's getting shut off, he said. What? Again? I asked. It'll be just a couple days. If you can cover it, I'll send it back by Friday. He never sent it back, and I paid anyway. My family always took without asking, and I always let them. When my dad lost his job, I helped with bills. When my mom needed a dental procedure, I paid. When Olivia couldn't afford her car lease, I co-signed it and paid the first 6 months. At first, it felt good. I was the reliable one, but over time, they started expecting it, taking it for granted, and even looking down on me. You're lucky you don't have kids, Olivia said at dinner once. All your money is just yours. That must be nice. You mean the money I used to pay your bills? I replied. Oh please, she scoffed. Don't act like it's charity. You like feeling superior. My mom tried to defend her. She didn't mean it like that. No, I meant exactly that, Olivia said with a smirk. You think we should thank you because you pay a few bills? A few bills? I said. Let's talk about that. Water, $1.83 a month. Electricity, $2.10. Internet, $1.89. Streaming. Random Amazon orders. Mobile plans. I stopped counting. Last month, I checked my bank app and saw I'd sent $9,800 in just the last year. And still, to them, I was the bitter, selfish one. The worst part? I wasn't even surprised anymore. A few weeks ago, I overheard a conversation I wasn't meant to hear. I dropped off some groceries at the house and heard them laughing in the kitchen. He's so uptight, Olivia said. You think paying a few bills makes him the king of the world? Mom added, he's probably just lonely. Dad said, he works too much, has all that money, but no one to spend it on. At least he's good for something, Olivia said. I'd cry if I had to pay my own internet. They all laughed. I stood frozen outside with the grocery bags. No one saw me. I turned and left without saying a word. Later that night, I canceled the autopay for their Netflix and Disney Plus. The next day, Olivia texted me. Did the Wi-Fi glitch? Or did you forget to pay again? I didn't respond, but the real breaking point came 2 months ago when I checked my bank account. I saw charges for a new MacBook, a wellness retreat, and designer clothes, all billed to the card I gave my mom for emergencies. I called her right away. Did you buy a MacBook? I asked. Oh, that was for Olivia, she said. She needed one for work. And the retreat, she was going through a rough time. Honestly, she was crying every night. Using my money? I asked. She got quiet. You make more than all of us combined, she said. It's not like you can't afford it. I hung up. 4 days. I debated confronting them, but then I remembered something Olivia had said last Thanksgiving. We all play our roles. Mine is being fabulous. Yours is paying for the turkey. Everyone laughed. I forced a smile and swallowed my pride. But now, I couldn't even look at a turkey without getting angry. Easter was supposed to be the one time we all pretended to care about each other. I bought gifts for the kids, took time off work, and even made brunch reservations. A week before, I got a text from Mom. Hey sweetie, can you make sure the utility payments are up to date before the weekend? Olivia is hosting an egg hunt at the house. I didn't reply, but I still paid $385 for their comfort with zero gratitude. And then Easter came. I showed up with wine and chocolate, and they shut the door in my face. You're not welcome this Easter, my mom said. Olivia made sure I heard her from inside. Honestly, it just feels better without the moodiness, she called out. Let em keep it light this year. They wanted light. I gave them darkness. No electricity, no water, no internet. I sat in my car, watching the house go dark. The porch light flickered off. The sprinklers stopped. 5 minutes later, Olivia burst out the door, waving her phone like a weapon. What did you do? She screamed. I rolled down the window. Enjoy Easter, I said, the way you wanted, without me. Then I drove off, finally realizing that sometimes the only way to heal is to cut ties. I hadn't even made it home before the calls started. First Mom, then Dad, then Olivia again. My phone buzzed non-stop. I ignored all of them until one message from Dad made me laugh. You're being dramatic. Come back and fix this. Fix this? I replied. You mean the water, the internet, and your idea of a family? No thanks. They showed up at my place 2 hours later. I heard the knock but didn't move. Let them stew. Let them feel something for once. Then I heard shouting. Are you seriously going to ignore your own mother on Easter? Open the door, or we're calling the police. Olivia screamed. This is abuse. I opened the door just as Olivia raised her hand to knock again. She stumbled inside. Get in, I said flatly, but if you raise your voice, I'm calling the cops. They came in, a mess of tears and yelling. You think this is funny? We had guests over. Children, do you know what it's like to explain to a 5-year-old why the bathroom won't flush? Yeah, I said, sitting down. You told them their aunt and uncle expect me to pay for everything. Boom, silence. Mom gasped. Olivia's eyes went wide. Dad clenched his fists. How dare you speak to your family like that? Mom snapped. Family? I raised an eyebrow. The same family that told me not to come because I ruined the vibe? The same one that laughed behind my back about how useful I am? The same one that used my money like it was nothing? Dad stepped forward. You're overreacting. No, I said. I'm done reacting. I'm acting. Finally, Olivia crossed her arms. You think this makes you powerful? Cutting off the utilities just to make a point? No, I replied. This makes me free. She snorted. Honestly, you've always had this martyr complex. You want applause for paying a few bills. You mean the $9,800 I spent last year? I asked. I snapped and pointed out everything I'd been paying for: heating, therapy, her new iPhone, her fake Paris trip that was really a spa in Palm Springs. Mom's face went pale. You went through my stuff? She asked. You used my credit card for the plane ticket? I get the statements, I replied. Dad tried to change the topic. Okay, look, we've made some mistakes, he said. I interrupted. Dad, you told me I didn't belong at the table. You said Olivia deserved the help more because she has a future. You said that to my face. I was angry, he muttered. No, I said. You were honest for once. Mom reached out, begging. Sweetheart, please. We're family. Can we just reset and undo what you did? No, I said coldly, because you didn't just shut me out today. You've been shutting me out for years. You've taken what you needed, but the second I say no, I'm the villain. Olivia was shaking now, her anger turning into quiet rage. You regret this? She asked through gritted teeth. You think cutting us off will make you feel better? You'll be alone. Good, I said. Alone is better than being drained by people who smile when I walk in and spit on my name when I leave. There was silence, a heavy, uncomfortable silence. Then I stood up. Here's what's going to happen, I said calmly. You'll find another way to pay the utilities. You'll transfer the car lease off my name in 30 days. You'll stop using my Netflix, Spotify, and Amazon Prime. If you don't, I'll lock it all down permanently. You wouldn't, Dad started. Try me, I said. And, Mom, if you ever try to guilt trip me again with a "you're our son," just remember, sons deserve love, not invoices. Mom started crying. Dad looked down. Olivia, she stormed out, slamming the door so hard that a picture frame fell. I didn't care. I didn't follow, didn't try to fix anything. For the first time in my life, I didn't try to make it better. I closed the door, locked it behind them, and let out a breath. The war was over. I'd won. The silence afterward was unreal. No calls, no texts, no knocks on the door. It felt like they decided I didn't exist. And you know what? It felt amazing. For the first time in years, I woke up without that pressure in my chest, the one that whispered, "What will they need from you today?" No more checking my bank app to cover their latest emergency. No more fake group chats where they sent memes and ignored my messages. No more guilt-filled holidays where I bought gifts for everyone and got socks in return. I was free, and the silence? It was beautiful. I started sleeping better, eating better, living better. I bought a cheap secondhand guitar and started teaching myself chords. I reconnected with college friends. I signed up for a photography class, something I'd always wanted to do but never had time or space for. For once, every cent I earned went toward me, my rent, my groceries, my future. It felt selfish, but then it felt fair, then it felt right. A week later, Olivia posted a passive-aggressive Instagram story with a black background and white text. Some people will leave you when you need them the most, but God sees everything, and karma is real. I didn't reply, but I screenshot it for the laughs. A few days later, Dad called. I stared at my phone as it rang 5 times, then went to voicemail. Hey, your mom's upset. Olivia is talking about selling her car. I don't know why you're doing this, but it's gone too far. We're family. Call us. I didn't call. Instead, I emailed Olivia the car lease transfer forms with a 14-day deadline. The subject line, "You're welcome." Then, the real surprise came. Kelly, my cousin's wife, reached out. She had been at the Easter gathering when everything blew up, standing quietly in the background as Olivia cursed and Mom acted like I'd murdered someone. She messaged me late one night. I know this might be weird, but I just wanted to say thank you. I've never seen anyone in this family stand up for themselves like that. Honestly, it made me realize a lot about how they treat people. You didn't deserve that. I hope you're doing okay. I stared at the message for a while. Someone saw it. Someone finally saw me. I wrote back. I'm doing better than okay, for the first time in a long time. But, of course, peace never lasts in my family. 2 weeks later, I came home to find a letter taped to my door. No return address. Inside, my mom had written, "We raised you better than this." And the last line, "You'll always be our son, even if you've forgotten what that means." I folded it up, threw it away, and went out for tacos, because the truth is, they'll never get it. I didn't forget what family means. They never really knew. They thought love meant control. They thought money meant obedience. They thought silence meant agreement. They thought giving everything up was proof of loyalty, but I finally understood better. Now, when I walk into my apartment, it's quiet, not because I'm unwanted, but because I want it. I light a candle, play some music, sit by the window, and breathe. No one's asking me for money. No one's waiting for me to fail. And for the first time, I don't feel like a backup plan in someone else's life. I feel like the main character in my own. What's crazy is the world didn't end when I told my family I was done. No thunder. No lightning. No regret. Just silence and freedom. For someone like me, who spent years being the good son, that silence was everything. It wasn't empty. It was peaceful. It wasn't lonely. It was quiet. The kind of quiet that lets you hear your own voice again. For years, I couldn't even hear mine. I'd wake up and start figuring out who I needed to help that day. Mom needed $300 for her gas bill. Olivia's account got frozen and she couldn't miss a concert. Dad's credit card payment was late. Every time I said yes, I felt a little smaller. They didn't ask. They expected. They didn't see me. They used me. And I let them because I thought that was what love felt like. Suffocating. I thought being needed was the same as being wanted. But it's not. Being used is not love. It took one slammed door and a power outage to finally understand that. After Easter, the messages stopped. No more threats. No more guilt. No more begging. It was like I had disappeared and they didn't know how to say it. But that a ghost phase? It gave me the clearest view of my life. I started asking myself questions I'd never been allowed to ask. What do I want? Who am I outside of them? What happens if I stop being their lifeline? And you know what I found? Breath. Space. Joy. I learned to cook for myself, real meals, not just cereal. I joined a local music jam on Saturdays. I started writing stories and poetry. Heck, even this. Turns out, there's a whole person under all the guilt. One night, a few weeks after everything blew up, I ran into Rachel at a bookstore, a girl I knew from college. She looked different. Happier. Lighter. We got coffee and started talking. She asked, "Are you still close with your family?" I paused, then really said it, without flinching, "No." I cut them off. She blinked, then smiled. "Good." I laughed. I wasn't expecting that. Most people just stare at me like I'm a criminal. She shrugged. Most people don't know what it's like to be the family doormat. We talked for hours about boundaries, healing, and finally choosing yourself without guilt. That night, walking home, I realized I wasn't broken anymore. I was rebuilding from the ground up, without them. And that was okay. Months passed. I stopped jumping when my phone rang. I didn't dread checking my bank account. I didn't check Olivia's social media for the next insult. And one day, I found myself laughing, actually laughing, at a meme someone sent me. I realized, I'm happy. Not because something huge happened, but because nothing was draining me anymore. For the first time in forever, I wasn't someone else's crutch. I was just me. Then, the final twist. I got a voicemail from Mom. Her voice was soft, almost fragile. "Hi, sweetheart. I hope you're okay. Olivia's been going through a hard time. The house feels different without you. I know you're angry. I know we messed up, but you're still our son. We love you. I miss you." I listened to the message twice, and for the first time, I didn't cry. I didn't feel pulled back in. I didn't feel guilty or angry. I just felt done. And that feeling? It wasn't cold. It was warm, like standing in the sun after years in the shade. So here's what I know now: saying no doesn't make you cruel. Setting boundaries doesn't make you heartless. Walking away from toxic people, even family, isn't betrayal. It's survival. Maybe my name's now a curse word at their table. Maybe they'll twist the story and make me the villain. Let them. They're not in my life anymore. My life is finally mine. So if you're reading this and you're tired of always giving, always forgiving, always sacrificing while they laugh behind your back, let me be the proof. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to choose you. And if they ever tell you you're not welcome, you say, "Good. I didn't come here to be welcome. I came to stop bleeding." Then, stand tall, walk out the door, and never look back. Because peace isn't something they give you. It's something you reclaim when you finally say enough.